here yet because he was just buried just the other day. I was at his funeral, I think June 6th. It was last Thursday.
I think it was.
Today is Monday, so it was last Thursday. So I was just here and he was just buried, and there's Sonny West, Elvis's bodyguard. Sonny West was very pivotal in the Elvis years. Sonny was Elvis's head of security.
I'm still in Nashville. I'm here at the Small Guy's place of business. And it's kind of hot and humid out. There's his Jeep, so I know he's in. Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Man, fantastic. How about you?
Good. Thank you for...
Elvis fans or something else.
Sorry?
I said Elvis fans or something
Yeah,
else.
I'll tell you what. They need some severe counseling.
They really do. A lot of them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, friend, thank you for showing me how to edit.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to work on that.
And tighten up.
Yeah, every chance you get. I got to take care of this. You can come on back here.
All right. I think I'm going to rip off your friend's line.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I do that, you know, tighten up is my thing. Friends is my thing, but I do some other stuff that some other guys do, you know, like Adam the Woo.
Yeah.
I think this is a return on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So I've got to handle that real quick, Deborah.
Well, while you're working away there, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
Is that okay? What got you into doing your YouTube channel?
I was doing, doing hot tub related stuff. I started out doing, when I had one for sale, I'd make a YouTube video about it and post that on my website, but I hosted it on YouTube. And that just led into me doing some how-to videos, that kind of stuff. And when I started doing how-to videos, I started getting better equipment, better cameras, better stuff. And then I've actually been shooting videos like I'm doing now, not in the same form as I'm doing now, but I've been going to historical places like Elvis places and stuff like that since the 80s. But the camera sucked back then.
Yeah.
So I have footage of me at Graceland at the fence talking and stuff like that, but it looks terrible.
The old on the shoulder
the
camcorder.
Yeah. And
technology's come a long way
from the 80s, you know. And I've got the footage. I'm gonna use some of it. I've actually downloaded some, pulled it off of VHS and put it on digital that I'm gonna use on some of my videos in the future. But what happened was when you're doing something like that, the footage looks so bad, it doesn't motivate me to finish the video. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to show it, but if you make it look like $1 million, I like that. I like a pristine product. So when I got a real good camera, I bought my first camera, my first good camera from a couple of hippies on a bus. I looked on Craigslist and I saw the camera and they wanted $1,000 for it. And I thought,
what year was this?
This was probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
I would guess. I've been on YouTube since 1999.
Oh.
But I was using little pocket Canon cameras is what I was using, shooting in 720. And about 3 years ago, I happened to be on Craigslist and I saw this camera and I thought, that looks like a nice camera. So I called the guy and he met me. It was, when I say two hippies, I'm literally mean two hippies on a bus. They were living on a school bus. And they were using the video camera to make yoga videos, is what they were doing, and posting them on YouTube. But I think they needed money. So I bought the camera, I bought the 2 SD cards, the remote. They had all the stuff, and the camera was only 6 or 7 months old, and at the time they were selling for $2,500. Wow. And I paid $900.
Nice.
And I started videoing with that thing and went, my Lord, this footage looks like $1 million camera. So that's really what started it. And when that started happening, I started going crazy making videos. And it prompted me to buy better equipment. Now I have Steadicams, Ronins, and all kinds of stuff. Now I have a lot of equipment.
And you got the Glory.
I have the Glory, and the Glory is actually my third drone.
I see.
And I bought a Pro 3 first, and I crashed it multiple times. And when I bought my first Phantom 4, I gave it to one of my employees that likes to fly. He had a Phantom 2, and I gave it to him. And then I crashed it at Colonel's house, and I bought another Phantom, so I have 2. And I've got one I need to fix. It's in my office. I have the parts to fix it. I just haven't fixed it yet.
I believe your most recent video is a Sonny West service.
Yes.
Very nice job on that.
Oh, I appreciate it. And I was real apprehensive about doing it. And I've got some negative comments on it, like I figured. But it has been online for, I'll give you the numbers. It has been on the internet for, it is now 11:30, 10, let's see, 8. So it's been online for 27 hours, and I have 18,243 views.
Wow, that's hot.
Yep.
That's hot.
248 likes, 19 dislikes, 323 comments.
Wow, see, wow, that's great.
So Elvis fans are torn about Sonny, as you've probably read some of the comments. Some of them hate Sonny, but you know what? I don't hold grudges against anybody. Everybody has to live their life and do what they do. I think Sonny was trying to save Elvis's life. I believe that. Right. But there's a lot of people, as you can read on these comments, that would argue that point.
I want to ask you, I watched the footage a couple of times. The 3 white-headed gentlemen that's at the casket with the flowers. Who are those gentlemen?
Okay, one of them is Red West, his cousin. A lot of people think it was his brother.
Okay, I recognize Red.
Okay, Red's one. Another one would have been Donny Sumner, which sang with the Stamps Quartet. And you can look up, there's a video of Donny playing the piano singing Lighthouse with the Stamps Quartet and Elvis listening. And that's Donny Sumner. And man, he nails it. And the thing you got to understand is, they were doing that song about the time that the Hensons put it out.
Well, what relationship is he to JD?
He was, they were cousins.
Okay, cousins, okay.
Yeah. And of course, he's still around. He lives here and sings. And I've actually done a show with Donny. I played drums for an Elvis show. I was Ronnie Tutt for the Elvis show. Here in local in Goodlettsville, I did a show with him. And he's quite a singer. He could still bring it. And he was in the funeral video of Sonny. He's one of the guys that sang. The Stamps and the Imperials sang Sweet Sweet Spirit together, and that's what I betted that, and then showed the funeral footage. And wow, what a singer, man. When he sings Lighthouse, the hair stands up on your arms. I mean, he's that kind of a singer, and he kills it. And can you imagine singing for Elvis? I can't even imagine that. Well, but Donny Sumner is playing the piano and singing for Elvis, and he's standing there listening to it.
Wow.
And the story is, a lot of the stories is, he would actually stop the show and have the Imperials or the Stamps come out and sing that song. And just stop the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got something y'all need to hear.
Nice.
And he would have them come out and do Sweet Sweet Spirit.
Just kind of close his eyes and,
and just
get into his zone and inspire.
So wow, amazing. Another one of the guys was another one of the Stamps. And then there's another gray-headed guy that you were looking at, and I don't recall his name. I did talk to him at the funeral, but he was best friends with Sonny. They were like best friends.
Okay.
And so he spoke. He was the one that read Dave Hebner's letter. So when you hear, it's actually his voice reading the letter.
I see.
And Dave lives in Las Vegas, where you live.
Okay, very good.
So you need to look Dave up. He's got a karate studio in Vegas.
Is he approachable?
Yeah, I think he's very approachable. Okay. Absolutely. Seems to be a very nice guy.
Can I use your name?
Absolutely. Okay. And he's a Facebook friend. I think you should Facebook.
Okay, I will. I will.
And he seems to be a very nice, very approachable guy. But there's guys like me that are Elvis fans that love everybody. I'm not mad with any of them. They did what they did. Some people are mad at Dr. Nick, and I've got a Dr. Nick video coming up that I think is going to be fantastic. Things that nobody has ever seen before about Dr. Nick. but there's going to be haters on there too, just like there's haters on some.
Well, would you say the Sonny West video is your hottest?
Absolutely.
Out the gate.
Today it is. Now, before that, the one where I do a before and after of Elvis walking through the parking lot at Madison Cadillac in Memphis is my hottest one before that one. That one's got, in 1 month, got 120,000 views.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
This one is on the way to doing those kinds of numbers. But see, I'm going to do a follow-up video to that video because people are saying that that's not Elvis in the picture, in the Madison Cadillac picture. So I'm working on a video, a follow-up to how can it be anybody but Elvis in the picture. If it's not Elvis in that picture, then we've got somebody out there that could superimpose people into pictures that is better than anybody I've ever seen. It's like Bigfoot. Okay, it's definitely Elvis in that picture, and I'm going to prove that it's Elvis in that picture in several different ways.
Nice.
And so that'll be a follow-up video. So I've got a lot of, I don't know how many. I've probably got 12 or 14 or 16 Elvis-related videos in the can that I've shot that I'm working on. I take a lot of pains when I'm editing. I don't just edit something and put it out. I edit it and go back and look at it and think about it and pray about it and really look at it and try to make it be as good as I can. And sometimes I'll go, you know what, I need this shot to finish it, so I'll go back and get that shot. I'll wait till I go to Memphis again, or I'll pay somebody in Memphis to go get a shot for it. And so I've got a buddy in Memphis, and he'll go do drone shots and things if I need it.
Nice.
So I want to make sure when I put a video out, it's as complete as it can be. And I'm also starting to do some things like, if you watch the video where I'm at the museum across the street from Memphis, the new museums and stuff.
Yes.
I did the story about, that Scotty told me about the guitars at the 68 comeback.
Yes.
And so
I saw that.
I found where his other guitar, the Super 400, was. So I used footage from another shoot to go, okay, here's the J200. Now here's the Super 400. This is where it's at, and this is the story about what happened.
Yes.
And I'd watched the 68 comeback a million times.
And Scotty's sitting in a metal folding chair.
Yeah, I never noticed that Elvis took his guitar. He did, but it never done, because when you're watching something, you think, well, that's what was supposed to happen. Scotty pointed out that he was mad about it, and that was not what was supposed to happen at all. So now when I see it, I can't help but look at that and go, wow, look at what happened. And he told me, Scotty got rid of those guitars. I mean, you know what? How valuable that guitar is to an Elvis collector?
Oh, 100,000?
More than that. I think $500,000.
Is that right?
And he gave that thing away for a song, man.
Oh boy!
You know, just for like equipment.
No pun intended, huh?
Yeah, literally. and so there's a lot of things that I learned from Scotty personally, just little inside things that you from the outside looking in, you just assume everything is what it is. So when you get to meet somebody like that and hang out with them and hear the stories, you learn inside things, which is, I had decided that every single Elvis thing had been covered. I mean, there's thousands, there's millions of Elvis fans, and there's a lot of guys that did videos and tried to do things. So what I'm trying to do is take it from another angle and do before and after and try to find nuances that haven't been touched before. And I've actually found some other things I'm not going to divulge on this video, but I ran across a guy that pointed out something in Nashville that Elvis owned that I've not found any information about on the internet. It doesn't exist. And so I actually went to that place, talked to the people, and they were like, yeah, you can record here.
Nice.
So I'm going to go video that and make a video about it. He actually owned it, had it built in Nashville, owned it, and when he passed, Priscilla owned it for a period of time before she sold it, and it still exists today. It doesn't exist as what he built it for, but part of it is still there, and they're going to let me shoot there.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing that.
So I'm going to tell that story. So I'm looking forward to going and doing all this.
Good.
That stuff excites me.
Good. Us too. Us too. Obviously, are a lot of folks.
Yeah.
Getting back to the museum, what is the tickets to enter the museum? How much are they?
I paid. Now, I didn't want to go to the house. All I wanted to do was just and they call it Elvis's Graceland Tour, I think is what they call it. It seemed like it was $28. It's on my video. I held the ticket up and
you did?
Yeah,
okay.
But I don't recall. I think it's $28.50 if I remember right.
Really?
Yeah. But that just gets you in those museums that are, there's a little turnstile you have to go through. which, by the way, they hadn't got worked out. It's a
Okay.
disaster trying to get through that thing. They don't have the logistics of it worked out. But when you go through that turnstile, there's the Sam Phillips thing, the Marty Stewart thing, which Marty, his stuff is, he lives here like 2 miles from here.
Okay.
And Marty Stewart, there's a Marty Stewart exhibit, there's a Sam Phillips exhibit. And in the video, I showed the actual recording console. Did you see that?
I saw
in the video?
that.
So
yeah.
I show you a picture of Elvis and him and Sam at the console, and then there it is, right beside the picture.
Well, I believe that's what I'm going to learn today to do some of that.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. I mean, you look at that and go, wow. I mean, that is the console that Elvis recorded his very first stuff through. It's it. That's the one.
That's awesome.
And stuff like that, man, really intrigues me. And I've shot at some stuff, unless you're a real hardcore, very learned Elvis fan where you read a lot, you don't know about things like Elvis owned a ranch in Mississippi called the Circle G Ranch. I've shot at the Circle G. I have the footage. I've not cut it yet, but I've shot 3 times there, trying to make sure I covered all my angles.
Did you find Priscilla's diamond ring?
I did not, but there's a story about a 3.5 carat diamond ring in that lake, and I talk about that in the video.
Okay.
Supposedly her and Elvis get mad, and she takes it off and throws it in that lake. So if I owned it, I'd drain that lake, find the ring, and let that be the crown jewel, no pun intended, of people coming to see, you know, what's going on out there. And I thought about approaching the people that own it and seeing if I could be a part of developing it. They want to develop it into a place for people to go to see. And I think it could be, it's very developable.
Yeah.
And,
is the cross still there?
Absolutely. The cross is there. The bridge that Elvis had built for the horses to go across, and there's a story about him crossing it on his horse. What was his horse's name?
Sunrise.
And there's a story about him crossing the bridge with ice on it. And Sunrise.
Oh
doing
my.
that, you know, and being real slippery. And all that's out there. And I walk around the house there. It's you can't go in it now, but for years and years it was a florist. It was actually a flower shop. And that house is still there. The cross is there. The bridge is there. And it's a very, very beautiful. The horse barn is there. I go in the horse barn, which is starting to fall down. The famous barbecue is still there with the E and the P on it. Now it's been damaged a little bit by people.
That was a birthday gift from the Memphis Mafia, I believe.
Yeah, it's out there. And all that stuff is there.
What I'm thinking about, getting back to Sonny West, I think we all assumed that he lived in Memphis.
Yeah, and you would think so. Sonny actually lived here in Hendersonville.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is Hendersonville, Tennessee, which is just northeast of Nashville. About I could get downtown in 20 minutes.
Well, obviously he had to make a living after Elvis. Do you know what he?
Well, he was actually he was a bodyguard for some other famous people, and he did some movie things as well. He was actually Ellie Mae's boyfriend in the Beverly Hillbillies on some episodes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so he did some other things. He did some movies and stuff like that, but he also did some bodyguard stuff.
I see.
Yeah. And I don't. I actually read it recently, but man, I'm getting old. I don't remember who the celebrity was, but he actually did bodyguard service for a celebrity.
I see. Okay.
It was. Man, why don't I remember? It was somebody. It seemed like it was a country music star from the '80s. Yeah.
I believe Lamar Fike lived here as well.
Yeah. And
did you meet him?
No, I have not. There, a bunch of those guys lived around here. Yeah. Sonny still lives, to my knowledge, in Memphis and has a karate studio. The next time I go to
You
Memphis,
mean Red?
I mean, what am I saying? Red.
Yes.
And still lives in Memphis and has a karate studio. Next time I go, I plan on meeting up with him.
Nice.
I saw him at the funeral, but time and place. You know, I don't want to approach him there. That's not the right time and place.
There you
It's
go.
a time for him and his family.
Right.
So,
Good.
So
the red went white.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But he's still. I mean, it's very much Red West, you know. And I'll be honest with you. I stood there with my camera, and the fan in me wanted to walk up to him and talk to him. But the human in me didn't do it.
I see.
You know, I stood there. I'm going to be honest. I stood there a long time going, you need to walk up to him and say hello and give your condolences. I didn't do it.
Okay.
Because I didn't think the time and place was right. But it was everything in me
right.
to not go do it.
How many people were in the service?
I counted about 80.
About 80?
About 80.
Anybody else you may have recognized?
Dwayne Allen from the Oak Ridge Boys.
Okay.
Richard Sturban from the Oak Ridge Boys was there.
Two real gentlemen, by the way.
Two real gentlemen. And Richard sang with the Stamps at one point. So, and I don't know if Dwayne Allen did or not, but I know they were Elvis fans. And they both live here in Henderson.
Well, Richard sang with Elvis for a time.
That's what I'm saying. With
okay.
Stamps.
Yeah, I got it. You got it.
And and I think, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Dwayne did or not. But they were both there. In fact, Dwayne sat on the same pew that I was sitting on.
Okay.
And I thought there was a girl there that I honestly thought was Lisa Marie.
Is that right?
And I couldn't get a good look at her. When she finally stood up and faced me, she looked younger than Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie'd be about my age. I'm 52, so she'd be about 50 now, roughly, late 40s.
But she looks a little better than you.
Oh yeah, well yeah. But now it's possible that she had, and I'm not saying that she did or not now, ladies and gentlemen. So don't send your cards and letters, okay? But it's possible, like Priscilla, that she had some work done, and she doesn't look quite like herself. It could have been her. I would not be surprised if she was there. But the man that she was with had kind of an Elvis hairstyle, and I looked up her current husband, and he didn't look anything like her current husband. But I think they're estranged. I don't think they're together. It could be her boyfriend. It may or may not have been her. I did not get a good picture or a good video of her, so I don't know. But the girl from the profile looked very much like, and she was with another lady. It was a man and her and another lady. She sat catty corner to me, so I couldn't get a good look at her.
So really, you're probably the only media available for viewing.
I'm it. There was nobody else there filming.
That's
I was shocked. I thought there would be helicopters and there's Channel 5. Nothing. There was absolutely
And where is Sonny buried at?
He's buried in, is it West Lawn, West?
What town is it in?
It's Gallatin.
Gallatin.
On New Highway 109 and Old Highway 109 where they split. It's in between them. Is it West Lawn? I think it's West Lawn. And of course it's unmarked at this point because he just was buried recently.
And
you have footage of that, right? Did you shoot
yes, I do.
Okay, so you can include that footage.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Yes. If fans ask you for the address, would you be willing to answer them and give them direction right to the site?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's a huge cemetery.
Want to go see it. It's a big cemetery, but he's not hard to find if you know where to look. And I need to find a grave. I'm a part of that where I do the GPS coordinates, and I should have done it while I was out there.
Yeah.
I'll go in the next few days and do that. I'll take a picture, but you really want to have a marker, a head marker. But I'll do that, do GPS coordinates where you can use Find a Grave, and it'll take you straight to the grave.
Okay.
I'll set up the GPS coordinates on it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, friend.
Yes, sir.
And tighten up.
Tighten up every chance you get, friends. Appreciate you, Dave.